Hello friends, the cell is called as a structural and functional unit of life. And the further information about cell, it was first come in light with the postulate of cell theory. Now what is cell theory and how the cells are divided in different types, that we will discuss in today's video. I am Sudhakar and you are watching Science Knowledge with Sudhakar. As we have discussed earlier, that cell is a structural and functional unit of life. The definition of cell, it was proposed by Loewy and Siekevitz. According to Loewy and Siekevitz, the cell is defined as a unit of organism which is delimited by plasma membrane and which is capable of self-replication. Now what is meant by a delimiting membrane? According to them, each cell it is covered by a selectively permeable membrane which is called as a plasma membrane. Plasma membrane works as a border which defines what is present inside the cell and what is present outside the cell. So plasma membrane is working like as a wall of balloon. The wall of balloon defines what is present inside the balloon and what is the external environment. In the same fashion, each cell is covered by a living membrane which is called as a plasma membrane. The second part of this definition states that each cell is capable of self-replicating. So anything, any unit which is covered by plasma membrane and which is able to replicate itself is called as a cell. That means anything which does not fall in this definition may not be called as a cell. That is why the viruses are present on the verge of the living and dead organisms. They do not have plasma membrane. And remember, the viruses cannot replicate themselves unless they get a particular host. Now, what is cell theory? The story of cell theory, it is very interesting. The story starts with terminology of the cell. The term cell, by dictionary meaning, it means any cavity which is without any opening. In 1665, when Robert Hooke was observing the transverse section of cork wood under the microscope, he observed that this cork wood is made up of various cavities and these cavities are without any opening, and that is why Robert Hooke used the term cell for the first time for these cavities which were present in that cork wood. Later on, the microscopy, it was developed and it is emerged as one of the important tools in the development of science. Various scientists used a microscope for the observation of living organisms. Schleiden was working on the plants. He was a botanist, and when he was observing various plant parts like as a root, stem, leaves or the fruits, he observed that all these plant parts are made up of various cells. So he postulated that the plant body is made up of various cells. Later on, Schwann observed that in the animals also same thing is present. That means various organs of the animal, various tissue of animals, they are made up of one or many cells. Now these two scientists together, they postulated cell theory. So cell theory was proposed by Schleiden and Schwann in 1838. According to them, every living organism is made up of one or many cells. That means the organism's body is made up of cells. Without cell, the organism is not possible. The second statement states that the cell is the basic functional unit of the life. So whatever the characteristic of life are there, like as a respiration, growth, nutrition, reproduction, etc. All these characteristics of life are present as the characteristic of the cell, and that is why the cell is called as a functional unit of life. The third statement states that the overall appearance of the organism is a sum total. It is an aggregate result of the functioning of all the cells which makes their body. So the plants, they appear as herb, shrub, trees or climbers, or the animals, various forms of animals are there. These forms are nothing but the sum total of the appearance of all the cells which contributes to the formation of their body. Now in this cell theory, one more postulate was added in 1858. It was added by Virchow. According to Virchow, each cell, it comes from pre-existing cell. That means for the cell division, for the formation of daughter cell, there must be presence of the parental cell. Today also we cannot create any cell artificially by contributing various macromolecules which will be delimited by, which will be covered by the plasma membrane and which will be able to reproduce itself, which will be able to regulate itself. The cell is formed only from pre-existing cell. So these statements together, they are called as a cell theory. Now let us see additional information about the cell. How many cells will be present in a living organism? What will be the number? Now number is not definite. The organism is made up at least of one cell. Such organism is called as unicellular organism, like as various bacteria, Escherichia coli, Rhizobium, etc. Their body is made up of a single cell. So organism may be made up of single cell, or in higher organisms we can see that the body, it is formed by many cells. In a mature tree of mango, there will be presence of billion of the cells. Together they will form the root system. They will contribute to formation of the stem, trunk, the branches, lateral branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. So in this way, the mature organism, eukaryotic organism, it may be formed of billion of the cells together. So number of cell, it depends on the type of organism. Now what is the size of the cell? The bacterial cells, they vary in the size from 0.2 up to 5 micron in its dimensions. Whereas in higher organisms, we can get as large cells as which are visible with naked eyes. Like as the ostrich egg, we can handle it in our hand. We can see it with naked eyes. In plants also, the largest cell is defined as the ovule of cycas. It can measure about 6 cm in the size. So it can be seen by naked eyes. It is a single cell. So size varies from 0.2 microns up to a size of 6-7 centimeters or few inches. Now how the cells are divided in two different types? The cells are divided on the basis of the structure of genetic material. Accordingly, we have two types. The first type is called as a prokaryotic cell and the second type is called as a eukaryotic cell. Now in prokaryotic cell, the prokaryote, the term prokaryote is derived from two words. Pro means primitive and karyont, that means nucleus. So the cells in which the genetic material, it is not separated by a distinct membrane. Such cells are called as a primitive cells and they are called as a prokaryotic cells. For example, all the bacteria or all the blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, they falls in this category of the prokaryotic cell. In next lecture, we will deal with the details of the prokaryotic cell. The second type is called as a eukaryotic cell. That means the cell having a true nucleus. That means true. Karyont means nucleus. So the cells having well-defined nucleus. The cells in which the genetic material, it is enclosed in separate double membranous structure. And the genetic material, it is separated from the cell organelles, other cytoplasmic cell organelles. Such cells are called as a eukaryotic cell. All the higher organisms, the animals, the insects, in plants also, except the cyanobacteria, all the algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms and angiosperms, they belongs to this group, that is eukaryotic cell. So on the nature of the genetic material and its organization, we have two types of the cell: prokaryotic cell, primitive one, and eukaryotic cell, that is advanced or true cell. Now this is a question for your brainstorming. Why the nucleus, the nature of nucleus is considered as the basis for classification of the cells, and why not the other characteristics? Put your responses in the comment section below. If you found this video very useful, then don't forget to like it, subscribe it and share this video with your friends. See you in next video. Thank you.